We are here in Scottsdale, Arizona at Creative Bespoke, which is probably the world's best supercar customization shop. I've been to a lot around the world, and these guys, when they build a car and they're not happy with it, or the sensors don't work, or there's a crack, or there's something, they take it apart and fix it properly. I've seen a lot of shops, a lot of builds. I've been in a lot of wide body cars and things don't work. Things, you can't drive it in the rain because of this wire, these sensors, the bags keep leaking. All kinds of problems often, but this shop, they do a really good job. So I'm going to take you inside and I'm going to show you some of the cars that they're building, some of the cars that they're going to be building, including one very special YouTuber's car that I guarantee you watch, which has just arrived in the last week. It's not even on their channel yet. And we're going to get a tour and meet the owner and find out a little bit about how he started this business, so that maybe one day, if your dream is to open a shop like this, you can get some tips and maybe open one. Let's go. All right, this is the new showroom that they just opened, because we'll go to the other side later, but they used to have that one, which is my old video. And then now in the new video, you're gonna be able to see this is the brand new showroom that they've just built. So they bought this unit and they own the unit next door, which is the original shop. In here, immediately, we have a Ferrari F8 Tributo. Tributo means it's the coupe version, not the Spider. The Spiders are just called F8 Spiders. And the reason I like the Tributo more is because when you come to the back, you actually look at it, it has the glass with the slats in it, like the F40. They did that as inspiration. This car is satin white PPF. It's got a 1016 Industries kit on it. One cool feature is the carbon fiber shields, and there's no yellow on this car. Every Ferrari normally has yellow brakes, yellow shields. This one, everything's carbon fiber. As you can see, all of the car has blacked out and the brakes are white. Over here, we have Richard Rawlings Ferrari 812. He bought this car from Copart. It was a salvage title, I believe. Had no rear bumper, smashed in the back. He drove it around to Cars and Coffee, all broken and damaged. And then he sent it to Creative Bespoke, where they've turned it into an 812 comp body kit, basically to look like the comp, which is $1 million car. And he's built it for probably, I don't know, a quarter, a third of the price. So it's got full, I think this is Duke Dynamics kit, carbon fiber front bumper. It's got vents on the fenders. You got the carbon fiber thing on the hood, just like the Competizione, or comp as I call it. I don't know if we can open it up. It's got MV forged wheels, and in the back, full 812 comp rear bumper. Really cool thing is they added the extra, like, I don't know, duckbill, I don't know what you call that, which is more aggressive than the standard 812. So this car's pretty cool that you can build your own comp for a fraction of the price. And I think it's worth it, you know? You get 90% of the car for 25, 30% of the money maybe? I think so, I'll take that. Over here, we have two Rolls Royces. So those are the Ferraris. We've got more Ferraris that we'll show over there. But right here, you guys know I have a Rolls Royce Silver Shadow. Nothing like this, not at all like this. Mine's a bit more old school. But here we have the new school with the crystal Spirit of Ecstasy, as you can see on there. And one thing that I think is kind of cool, when you look at the grills, it looks black, but you can see the blue inside. So when you look at it from this angle or from this angle, you see the blue, and on the other side, you see the black, which is a nice touch with the blue pinstriping on the car. This has forged carbon hood on it. It's got forged carbon diffuser, Mansory wheels on it. This kit is, it's a Mansory kit. Okay, I wasn't sure, because this kit is Kavani, which is I think it's Eastern European, maybe it's German company. They do wide body kits. They do lots of kits for like Rolls Royces, G-Wagons, that kind of thing. I don't know, what would you guys rather have, the Ghost or the Cullinan? For me, I'm personally gonna take the Ghost just because I like cars, but it'd be pretty sick to put all your friends in the Cullinan and drive around in that. This thing, by the way, as well, it's lowered. It's full Kavani wide body, carbon fiber in here. They did the same thing, but it's orange on this car instead of blue on that one. But the interior on this one, well, both of them, I'll show you this one first. Look at this, baby blue. This is, I think, a factory interior, so this isn't customized. This is what they ordered the car in. And then this one, when you open it up, oh, it's locked. Well, I guess I won't open it. Yeah, both of them are locked. I'll have to get them to open it later. But that one's got a full orange interior inside the car. Now, this is the actual shop where they work on the cars. So before, it ended like right about here, and then they bought this side. So now we have all this extra room, and I'll show you out back where they actually work on the cars. They do work in here, but outside is where they like sand the kits down and do that stuff. So right here, we have a 296 GTB, which is getting scanned to get a body kit made for the car. And they basically have to scan the whole car, take it all apart, make sure that they get the files right so that they can build the kit and then it'll fit onto the car correctly. It's a really important step to make wide body kits. I mean, really, if you don't do that, your kit's not gonna fit well at all. As you can see, they've got all the little dots on it, so that picks up, and you can see on the laptop there where it's actually being scanned. Pretty cool to see that. This is also how they do cars for Forza. So if you're wondering how they get a car in Forza, they have to fully scan every piece of it, just like for a wide body kit. Here we have a 720S. This car, full carbon wide body. If you come up close, look at this. Everything is carbon, but it's painted over a lot of it. You can see that. The wheels on this, I don't know if I like them. They're very interesting. Those are the front wheels, and then if you come around, we have different wheels on the back. MV forged again. Another feature which I don't know if I'm a fan of on this car is you can see here they put like the McLaren logo in the side of the car. You see the little Kiwi, but the reason I don't know if I like it is because there's no vent. It's not functional. So if you come and look here, it's literally just carbon fiber bodywork. It's not actually an air duct for the engine. Come around to the back, you have a little bathtub here. You could literally put a baby in there and give him a bath. Full rear bumpers off the car right now because they're putting the sensors in it. When I said earlier, what I like about this shop is they actually fix the cars. When something's not right, they make sure it's right. So this car was built, they got it done for SEMA, and then the parking sensors in the back weren't in. So they took it apart again, and now they're putting the sensors in to make sure this car is 100% perfect. And you can actually drive it every day if you want to, and it's not gonna break. So that's a pretty cool feature. But yeah, this car's painted. I think it's painted, it's not wrapped. Purple. You've got a roof scoop up there. I don't think it's functional. And then yellow and kind of gold interior. Then over here, we have a Ferrari F8. This is a Duke Dynamics kit, I believe. It's full carbon fiber as well. But they painted it again, so you can see the carbon when you get it close. But it's painted gray. If we come around to the side, this one, come look inside. You got a full yellow interior on this car, which is pretty cool. I personally really like that. But I'd rather have the 296 over this car. I don't know. I just think they look better personally. Or there's also the A12. What would you guys take? At the end of the video, I want you to tell me which car you would pick out of this whole shop to take home. Now, you guys can probably see what this is. Yeah, you probably recognize that car, but before we get to that, we're gonna talk about this thing. Now, I made a video on this a few months ago, actually. This is what looks like a McLaren F1, but you probably know it's not a McLaren F1. It's some kind of like replica kit car. I don't remember the name of it. I think it's called like a Gorillion or something. It doesn't have a central seat, so it's got two separate seats. Like you can see the gear shifter in there. Momo steering wheel. It's pretty cool. Carbon fiber on the car. So apparently this car is worth about like 80,000 when it's all done. But in its current condition, I'd probably say it's maybe, I don't know, 25, 30 in my opinion. But yeah, it looks like a McLaren F1 replica that's been wide bodied and modified a lot. So it'd be kind of cool if this was an actual F1. But no one would do that to a real F1. I'd drive this though. I'd make some videos with it, taking it to McLaren or something to get serviced. Speaking of McLarens, over here we have DDE's 720S. This thing, or 720 GTR as they call it, I think. As you can see, it's gonna get the full kit installed on it. So it's here because apparently the place they took it to in California, it was just hard to get the kit to fit. So now they brought it to Creative Bespoke. Like I said, in my opinion, it's the best shop if you want to get wide bodies and kits like this done on your car. And if you come around here, you can see the actual Gintani exhaust in there. You can see the roll cage in the back. This car looks pretty sick. It's going to be done, and it's going to be epic when it is. It's probably my favorite car that DDE has. Here we have an Aventador full carbon wide body kit. So this kit is going to go on this car right here. And this kit was actually the kit Stradman was going to buy before he did his car, and then they'd already sold the kit, then the buyer backed out, and long story short, here's the car it's going on, Aventador S. And it's going to be installed and then painted green, so you won't be able to see the carbon fiber underneath. And this outside area is new. So this is where they work on the cars, because when you're working on fiberglass and carbon fiber and you're sanding them down, dust and fiberglass and carbon shards get everywhere in your lungs, and it's really bad for you. And it just creates a mess in the shop. So when they do it out here, they have full ventilation system. They have these tents and nets, because in the summer here, it gets like 120 degrees Fahrenheit, or that's like 45, I think 50. Now, if we come over here, this is the original shop where they were a year ago, and they now have expanded all the way down there. In here, we have a few more cars. We have a 458 Spider. This one's getting, I think, just a few touch-ups. Borsteiner parts on it. It's a very 2012 era build, I think. And then over here, this is a really cool car that I like. What's up?
To get my lunch.
We're
Did it
filming.
work?
Yeah, we're filming.
That's good.
This
Wait,
is
how do you-
Corner. Don't worry about it. This is Corner. So he works at the shop, and he's sort of my friend who I went to car week with. What do you do here?
I do the social media marketing and some videos and photography here.
So how did you get that job? Because I know probably if you're watching, you probably would love to have this job. How did you get it?
Long story short, a friend of mine got hired through, long story short, a friend of mine got hired here. He recommended me, and then they needed a marketing position, and I ended up taking over. We did a 2-week trial run. I grew it a little bit, and then Sai gave me a job, basically.
What are the skills you need if you want to do social media for a shop like this?
Probably understanding the market, and also understanding your audience. So if you understand, like, if you're gonna represent a big company like this, then you gotta understand what the owner wants, and also you gotta understand what you need to post for the audience. Because it's not just like what you want to post, it's more of what should be posted and what should be represented. And you also gotta be a good representative as well. Because you are, if you're in my position, you are technically like responsible for the company's name and the face, and you know what I comment is going to be backlash to the company, and you just got to be careful. So
What are 3 things that you think you did to get to this job when you were growing up? You know, in high school, in college, going to car meets. How did you get the skills to do this?
when it comes to it, photography, I started photography with my iPhone 5. So I would say like my passion for cars kind of driven me to be in this position, you know. But to be in this specific position, I would say it's a grace from God, if I were to be honest with you, because it just fell on my hands. After I graduated, I went straight here. So, yeah.
That's pretty good. You love what you do?
Yeah, I love what I do love what I do.
All right.
All the guys here love what they
I'll
do.
let you go have lunch.
Yeah.
We'll keep on showing the cars. We've got a few more to show. And then we're going to find out a little bit from the owner how he started this shop, so that one day, if you have a dream to open a shop like this, he can give you some advice. Anyways, moving on from that, here we have an SL63 AMG. This is a brand new car. Love these, actually. Personally, I really like these cars. I think they look really cool. It's kind of like an AMG GT, but it's a roadster. It doesn't really make sense because they have the GTC. I don't know though, they discontinued that car, so now we have this. This car is also getting a full carbon fiber wing, carbon fiber diffuser. This one's a bit more subtle compared to obviously some of the wide body Ferraris and stuff back there, but I still really like it. And then here we have a Huracan. This is one of the craziest Huracans I've ever seen. As you can see, full wide body. Come look at this. This is all added on to the fender there. Full carbon fiber. And then if we come around here, it's got the STO style hood. It's got carbon wheels. My favorite part though of this car is the back. You see how it goes out. Kind of like a Liberty Walk car, but it's not. And then I love this wing, how it's like comes out like this. And I think they're gonna put the bumper back on, but I love it without the bumper. I think it looks so cool like that. Just love how it like squares off and then just shoots out kind of like a massive ducktail. Here we have a Urus. This is also a wide body car. Novitec wheels. Not sure what this kit, I think it's a Novitec kit. Matte black, obviously. Pretty mean car. I don't know. I'm more of a classic sports car kind of guy, but that's a sick car. We have a few more in here. So, inside here we have a 720S. This is a Spider, obviously. I hope you can tell that. Full Creative Bespoke kit on it, so it looks like a 765 LT, but this is a normal 720S. You got the big wing on it, BBS. I think these are LMs on the car, which I think personally look amazing. I love how it's gold in there and brushed. Not something you normally see on supercars unless you're in California, so it's really cool to see that. And then here, maybe the best looking car that I think they've done, in my opinion. This is an Aston Martin DB11, I believe. Pretty sure this is DB11, but it looks like a DBS Superleggera. So they did a full front end, that's all redone. The only thing is the headlights are the same. And if you come around to the back, yeah, it's a DB11. You can tell because the tail lights are like this. On the DB11, they come around kind of like the classic Aston style. On the Superleggera, it's like a light bar across the whole back end. But forged carbon diffuser, forged carbon wing, a matte black, or satin black actually, wrap. I think this is, maybe it's painted. I don't know honestly. But I think this car really looks good with the F1 tail lights. And it just, what a mean car. Like this is proper like James Bond mixed with Batman kind of car, which I think is really cool. There are actually two more cars outside. If you guys want to see them, well, I guess I'll show you these. There's a 992 Carrera with Tech Art body kit on it, and then here's a Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Now let's go inside and find out how he started this shop, because I know that you probably would love to have a shop like this. I know I would love to have a shop like this, so I want to know what his advice is. I'm here now. We have the owner of Creative Bespoke himself, Sai. Now, can you introduce yourself and, well, I guess I introduced you, but can you explain how you started this business?
Hi, how are you guys? Well, first thing is you gotta have passion for what you do. So since I was a young child, you know, like in my 7, 8 years old, I always wanted to have a motorcycle, cars. I was always into it. So I always loved to be around the cars and motorcycles. That being said, the way I started was completely from scratch. You know, I started washing cars right after high school. That was my first business. I had a mobile detailing business that I ran for about a couple of years. After that, I come across about $5,000 that I saved and started going to an auction, buying cars that were, you know, not running or had body damage or needed work, start fixing them up and selling them on the side of the street, just put them up for sale. Did that for a while until I saved enough money to be able to get my own dealer's license and start going to an auction and had this very small car dealership. You know, maybe 5 cars would fit on it, and I started selling cars out of there and slowly grew it to be a little larger and larger until we had several car dealerships. The key is always stay ahead of what everybody else does, right? So I remember probably in mid-90s, I started putting wheels on cars, you know, and to the point that I had a, you know, big body S-Class, you know, I don't know if you remember those big body S-Class, and I put the 20-inch chrome wheels on it, and I got pulled over by a cop. And I had just picked up my parents from an airport, 2 older people sitting in the back with their luggage on their lap, and the cop's like, I'm like, what's going on, officer? Well, he told me that I look suspicious. My car looks suspicious because they never seen wheels on a car. So he put the light and sees my parents sit on their luggage and all scared, you know, just coming from overseas. So, you know, always stay ahead of the game. Fast forwarding, you know, 10 years later, I started wrapping cars when nobody was even wrapping any cars. Nobody even knew what wraps were. So I was wrapping cars matte black and people were going crazy. Fast forward, you know, I started customizing cars. As people caught up to what was going on, I had to keep excelling to the next level. So the short of the story is start small, learn the business from inside out, know how everything works, from washing to buying to fixing to financing to you know, I help people fix their credit so they can buy a car. So you got to know ins and outs of the car business in order to succeed on it. From outside, it looks very easy. You know, anybody's like, oh, how hard is it? I just go to an auction, buy a car. and I'll just wash it and I sell it until they buy a car that's worth nothing because the engine was bad or somebody, you know, lied about it, and guess what? You're out of business just like that. So you got to kind of know what you're doing. I'm not a mechanic by trade. I cannot work on cars. If you ask me to, like my staff, always the minute they see I hold the tool, they're like, "Sorry, please, just, you know, we'll handle it for you." So you don't have to know how to work on cars. That would be a bonus if you can, but you get to know how everything works and find good people that love the car business as much as you do to help you get there, right? My staff is amazing. They backbone of my company and is actually our company, you know, so they love what they do, and that's how you get better. You find the people that can excel you on areas that you lack, right? Marketing is one of them, you know, working on cars another one. So you just surround yourself with like-minded people, and that's how you excel.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
You got it. No problem
Appreciate
at all.
it.
I hope that helps everybody. But you know, if you have any additional question, you can always text me, email me, and I'll try to help anybody that I can.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And if you're in Arizona or you're on holiday, come here in Scottsdale and check this place out, because they have a nice showroom that they just built, and they would love for you to come by. And maybe one day you'll buy a car from here. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure. And whatever your dream is, never ever quit.